and once considered as some of the prestigious secondary schools in Nigeria. Federal government-owned Unity schools seem to be losing their glory with poor teaching staff and facilities in near squalor. The schools were seen as a symbol of privilege and pedigree due to their high standards and quality education. But lately, Unity schools seem to be losing their enchantment with less enrollment rates in some parts of the country due to poor investment in teaching facilities and insecure environment for students. Well, one analyst explains the situation.
The Unity schools have witnessed decline in enrollment largely based on two major issues: location and security concerns. As we are all aware, the security situation has continued to deteriorate in many parts of the country, so parents are very reluctant to send their kids from far distances to Unity schools, and even the locals in those locations, because of the unstable environment, have not felt comfortable sending their children to those schools. So naturally, in those kind of locations, enrollment will typically drop. On the contrary, enrollment has actually grown in bigger cities, safer cities, cities where security is better managed than in other places. But in those areas where there are ungoverned security spaces, there's that challenge. Unity schools remain Unity schools to keep the standard. The responsibility, of course, is for government to grant access to everyone to gain secondary education.
Okay, well, for more on this, Dike Chukwumerije, a social activist, joins us now. Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. I guess, Dike, we're all wondering, how did we get to this point where the Unity School that used to be the pride and joy of so many parents when their children get into it becomes one that, according to you, is the choice, the last choice for any parent now, because they'd rather send their children abroad or somewhere else. How did we get to this point?
I think it's been a consistent, just deprioritization of education at the higher levels, where we have prioritized other things over public education. Things like security, things like the comfort and salaries and allowances of public officers, and we have just deprioritized public education, and to our detriment, because we fail to invest in public education at our own risk. It is the long-term solution to our problems as a society. So I think it's just consistently, year after year, we see a government that doesn't, whatever the rhetoric is, doesn't in practice prioritize and give public education the space that is, and respect that is due to it.
What do you think then can be done to ensure that these Unity schools actually live up to the purpose for which they were set up, to unite the different segments of the Nigerian society? There is a seeming disparity between the North and the South when it comes to Unity schools. Please address that. How can Unity schools truly be Unity schools?
For Unity schools to achieve their primary purpose, you have to improve the quality of education in Unity schools. What you have now are schools that have fallen to the fallback position of simply catering to the children of the lower class, while the children of the middle and upper class send their children to private schools or send their children abroad. For a Unity school to be a Unity school, the child of the rich and the poor, the child of the North and the South need to come together. And for that to happen, you have to have a high standard of education, whereby somebody who has the option of sending his child to a private school or sending the child abroad looks at the quality of education in the public school and wants to get the child in there. We also have the issue of security. The beauty of Unity schools in those days was that if you come from the South, you're able to go to a Unity school in the North.
Dike Chukwumerije, thank you so much, social activist. Thank you for your insights.